Boom. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another day here for Star Ladder Season 12. I'm EGAD. Going to be joining me here is going to be Skim. Mod packs may be on later, but we're going to have a fun day of North American Dota as VoidBoys will be taking on eHug as both of them, I believe, haven't played yet. No, they have not. And, oh, man, I just had the records in front of me, but how you doing, Skim?
Hey man, I'm really excited for this. Unfortunately, if I check the groups correctly, I think eHug is already out because they have 2 losses.
Oh, 0-2. Yeah.
Yeah, they're 0-2 right now, and even if they win this one, they won't be able to place top 2, so they're definitely out of the group stage. VoidBoys at the same time is also already through, so it's kind of like awkward because, you know, it's not really much on the line for either team, but maybe this makes it even more exciting because they're like, you know what? Let's just roll with this. Let's try something new, maybe even so. You know?
With eHug at 0 points in this group, it's pretty tough. So we already got bans flying away, taken with a Vengeful Spirit to the line, very popular yesterday. Pretty much just pick ban 100%. The Troll as well, taken away from Pat Soul. Glad that that rhymes, but yeah, he's a force to be reckoned with that. And you know, eHug, their roster, it's been I guess you could say it's been a little all over the place over the past few months and stuff, and we got actually Tralf in this game as Johnny W.
Yes, I think he was in there last night as well. He was just tagged up as SF. So
Oh, he was SF. Okay, okay.
yeah, it was just like this is the first today is the first day where we have like ticketed games, so their actual names are appearing, which definitely makes it a lot easier for us to, you know, well, obviously recognize all of them.
Yeah. So Sniper getting taken out, and after what Chowie just did on Sniper, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him gone pretty much all throughout tonight. So we got the Bat Rider picked up first for VoidBoys, and not a bad first pick for sure.
Yeah, Bedred is a really solid pick in general. I mean, he's very flexible in laning. You can run him on off lane, mid lane. You can rotate into the jungle, and it's just like, you know, a really good hero. eHug pick up the Shadow Fiend. While he's a good hero as well, it's not as flexible. Pretty much just, you know, mid lane.
Yeah, the atypical just farm fest, which we saw quite a bit of. Shadow Fiends, even though they lost the lane, we had that game where Fly was just babysitting Shadow Fiend and purging off, you know, the Queen of Pain's dagger, and that was good to go for him. Just caught up as well in some jungle stacks. Earthshaker going to be coming through for eHug. I'm expecting Tralf to be playing that one, and this game already shaping up to be pretty interesting. Not too much given away, though, so a lot of flexibility in the compositions to behold, and Earthshaker still one of my favorite supports, especially when it's first pick.
Yep. Has a really long range disable, or yeah, the Fisher. Good stun against the Bat Rider. If the Bat Rider does initiate, you can always just rely on the Earthshaker to be right behind you and, you know, stun up the Bat Rider so he can drag you away. Ooh, very
okay.
early Spirit Breaker.
First round Spirit Breaker, why not? So support Spirit Breaker obviously going to be coming out here, and Shadow Fiend can struggle quite a bit against a Spirit Breaker who is maxing charge. Charges into the mid lane, get that bit of a stun, and you set up pretty easily for a kill. But man, they're just really flying through this already. So many cores taken away from the VoidBoys side as Team eHug just want to get rid of it, just focusing Pat Soul so heavily. He's a key member for the team, but you know, taking away this many carries is leaving a bit open for them. But we do have the Clockwork, the Witch Doctor, and now the Spectre. And are we going to see one more core? That's the big thing.
Yes.
Oh, Queen of Pain. Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess they just want to make sure that if they do, like, you know, Pat Soul is obviously a really strong player, so if you do have to give him a hero, at least make it so that you can give him a hero that you're, like, I guess, sort of, like, comfortable playing against, you know?
Yeah.
Queen of Pain especially is really annoying to play against, especially in that mid matchup against Shadow Fiend, so I'm totally behind this pick, or this ban, I should say, and eHug pick up an Axe.
Huh.
I'm surprised he made it through this far.
I'm actually not surprised that he made it through this far. There's a lot of prioritization going through here. The Skywrath Mage gets picked up right afterwards, so if he blink calls, he's got to watch out for Mystic Flare. The Silence is going to be good, and the only thing he's going to suffer from if there's a Brood. And with eHug having Axe, the Brood coming through for their team wouldn't be the best option. I mean, they could just dedicate the Axe to a farming position in the jungle and put the Brood off. Or Core Axe?
It's been done, but it's not really the best solution. But oh god, just imagine if eHug does pick up the Brood. Like, this poor Skywrath. We had this before.
Yep.
I'm already feeling sorry for him, but I don't think eHug is going to pick up a Brood. It's very risky as well.
Very greedy. Too greedy.
Yeah, very greedy. And they have a Bad Rider, which does fairly well against Brood. Not necessarily in lane, but just in general, being able to, spam that Firefly, making sure that those Spiderlings can't really lay a finger, or I should say lay... Actually, what are those? Legs. Legs on the tower.
Legs on the tower? What?
So the Spiderlings can't lay their legs on the tower, like, can't touch them.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to say finger, but they don't really have fingers, right?
I don't think spiders have fingers, sorry. And they don't have hands either, but unfortunately they don't have opposable thumbs as well. That would have been pretty cool. Just see spiders with thumbs everywhere. But next pick, what do eHug want to get? They've already picked up 2 essential cores for the late game in the Axe as well, and it wouldn't be surprised if this Axe is in the offlane, and if he gets, forced out like he should be with the Skywrath, just throwing the doves at him and Spearbreaker threatening charges, he'll be in the jungle, and it'll be a free farm lane for VoidBoys, and Void is still available if they want to pick that one up. They've still had good success with that, hence their name, and boy.
I think eHug should go for a Disruptor here. It's really good against both Bad Rider and Spirit Breaker, like the Glimpse.
Yep.
Just to making sure that any initiation that's coming out, you can actually, disengage all of it.
Oh, AA.
Oh no, they go for the AA.
It's been a long time.
There's a lot of burst potential as well. If you do get a jump off with the Axe Blink and the Call, just drop an AA ult and the target is most likely dead.
Yules as well, if the SF goes for that kind of build, will set up pretty nicely for an Ice Blast and a Requiem on top, and there's almost no way you get away. Fissure lined up too, once he gets Blink and Echo Slam, so I like the composition coming out from eHug right now. It's setting up pretty strong, but VoidBoys, I'm wondering what they're going to do. Right now they have a lot of good cash potential, a lot of good chasing potential too, and what are they going to go for their carry? I really want to know.
VoidBoys have a lot of global ganking potential as well. Bad Rider is usually very mobile. He's all over the map. Spirit Breaker can be all over the map, and I think it was them that also picked up the Slark last night. So maybe a Slark as well. Go for a very aggressive mid-game orientated lineup. Apply a lot of pressure, making sure that this Shadow Fiend doesn't really come online on time.
Okay. I wouldn't be too opposed to that. We could see an AM, and this turned into a really, really heavy farm game. AM's not too bad against the Axe. Pretty much if he gets called, all the mana's gone for the Axe. Shadow Fiend won't be able to raise or anything, and chasing down an AA, who's going to more than likely have just tier 1 boots the entire game, shouldn't be too much of a problem for him. Although
AA has to be really careful in this game as well. Yeah, you're completely right. That's usually the problem with AA. He provides a lot of stuff, but he's also really squishy. So if VoidBoys does go for a very aggressive lineup, AA is gonna have a really tough time because, even with boots, he's really slow, and you don't really build him too tanky because you kind of want to go straight for the Aghanims, but that build-up can be quite slow. So this is definitely something that VoidBoys can sort of punish.
Yeah, they're thinking about it long and hard. They've used up most of their reserve time too, so going into this game, trying it out, gonna pick up Beyond's mid lane and the Razor. Alright. Razor versus Shadow Fiend. Don't get to see that all too often, but Razor can make Shadow Fiend's life pretty hard. Level 1, you set the tether, chase him out, and beat him down to let him get any of those souls. And that's gonna hurt the mid lane quite a bit, especially with the camp potential that could be there with the Spirit Breaker and the Skywrath.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad matchup for the Razor. With the Link, obviously, and the Plasma is also pretty good. But it's, as you pointed out, it's a very unconventional pick these days. You don't really see too many Razors, and I don't really see the game plan here right now because I guess they have sort of a bit of gank and a bit of team fight maybe, but the Razor provides sort of I suppose if anything gank potentially, farms nicely, but that's it. It doesn't really complement the draft thus far unless they have another pick left that's gonna be makes their whole draft.
It's gonna be a core though. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, Medusa's gone. No Stone Gaze. No potential for Split Shot. Bristleback gone for eHug. And what are they gonna go for? Both these teams holding out to their last pick for the cores. And AM Medusa. What are we gonna see? We're bringing it back a couple patches. Gonna see some Terrorblade Medusa. Some nice illusion farming. I mean, eHug's gonna have to think quick. They only got 20 seconds left, including reserve time. So
yeah, both teams actually in the first half of the draft they were really quickly, but these last 2 or 3 picks and bans they were really taking the time. And this just goes to show that both teams sort of know each other. I mean, obviously in NA, NA
Yeah.
isn't too big, so if you do scrim, you're likely
Storm.
to just
Okay.
scrim against one another. And I like the Storm pick. Like, it definitely fits the theme. You have Axe and Storm being really aggressive. You have a lot of follow-up damage with the Earthshaker and the AA, so a lot of space for the ASF being created.
It's also something that Pat Sol would play too, so you're taking away another pick from him.
Exactly.
Jeez. What are they going to go
Question is, would VoidBoys have gone for the Storm here in this scenario? I'm not sure if that would have worked out.
It would have destroyed the AA, could have hurt the Earthshaker quite a bit, and
That's
SF struggles a bit getting jumped on early without BKB, so... VoidBoys, what are you going to go for? What do you got? I think Void wouldn't be too bad here. It gives you that big Chronosphere, as well as just Bass potential, but against Store Spirit, I'm thinking Silencer. I like Silencer here, but again, playing it in a core role is kind of meh.
I mean, it is sort of popular in all these in-houses, in EL, NEL. Like, it's become really popular to run a core Silencer with, like, this weird build-up with, like, Shadowblade and stuff. I don't know. I've seen it work, but at the same time, I was like, well, this could have been any other carry, you know? I think I'll fight Juggernaut.
Really?
Going back to the basics.
Back to the basics indeed. So this is going to be game one between VoidBoys and eHug. EGAD going to be joining me here. It's Skim, and we got North America's finest going up against each other today. And some Brazilian as well in the Pain Gaming side. Are we all American? I feel like, what do I think they're SA for some reason? I don't remember. I can't remember all the teams, unfortunately. But yeah, let's hop into this. Hopefully we're going to have intense sets, and maybe we'll hit all 3 games again today for both sets.
I don't think. Yeah, I think it's rather likely that we're going to see all 3 games because again, like, both teams know each other quite well. You know, like they sort of know what the other teams play, how they draft, how they play their drafts. So I expect both games to be, or not both games. I expect there to be like really 3 close games. But then again, it comes down to execution, and I'd say looking at VoidBoys' draft, I'd argue that their draft, you know, it relies heavily on execution, just because I feel it's a bit difficult to pull off. They have really unconventional picks with, like, the Spirit Breaker, for example. It's not one of the best supports out there, so we'll see.
We will see indeed. So we got ourselves a little bit of an introduction to do here. We got Johnny Walker, or Johnny W, known as Tralf, on your mid lane Shadow Fiend. We got the Triland set up here for you, War, with Ryuza and Infinity on the Storm AA and Earthshaker. And then we got MJW on the Axe going up top in the off lane.
Yes, and on the dire side, we have Omega Pawn on that support Skywrath. We have Mercy Please on the Bat Rider, not even going to the offlane, just sticking to the jungle for now. Patzol on the Juggernaut. We have Fly on the Spirit Breaker, and in the mid lane, Beyond on the Razor.
Yeah, so this mid lane matchup's to be one to keep an eye out for, to see how well he does against the Shadow Fiend, as well as what he transitions into. I'm feeling the early mech. I think that's going to be something that he goes for, but who knows.
Interesting to see, by the way, Infinity yesterday was playing the mid all the time, and it was actually it was Tralf who was playing the support, but now it's actually Tralf in the mid lane, and it is Infinity on the support Earthshaker. Maybe it's like a hero preference. Maybe either of them doesn't really feel comfortable in the other hero. Maybe it's like, you know, Tralf is like, hey, my Earthshaker is actually not that great, so maybe you wanna take a spin on that.
It's always fun to see versatility between players, so we'll see how this one goes. It could go horrifically well, it could go horrifically wrong, but hoping for the latter, or to meet somewhere in between, because I want the best possible Dota here. But alrighty, gonna get into these lanes. MJW gonna have a bit of a tough time here. He didn't get the Ring of Protection, just went for straight 8 tangos and a salve, so he'll be able to eat a lot more of this harass than he normally would have been able to. Opposed to, you know, Mercy Please, who's not even looking to go to lane, and he got a stack of mud golems, and he got level 1 Firefly with boots. So, he's gonna stack at least.
Yeah. Quite surprised to see eHug not trying to babysit the SF in the mid lane. Like, the matchup for him is actually not too good in the beginning, and usually you kind of want to secure him at a few early levels. And if they don't do it, he should skill raises, I believe, but he didn't do it, so he has a really rough lane.
He's gotta try to get these last hits, man. Needs these souls very badly. The damage is just too good to pass up. And you can see already, he's gonna be forced back and pushed in for just a bit. It's just so effective and so good to just keep an SF underneath this tower. Fly as well is gonna stoke up some XP from the pulls going around here from Infinity, and he's got to be a little careful. He did level charge, so he's able to get away from the stuns, if anything, and also pulling the wave, too, is going to be a decent amount of XP for him.
I sort of take back what I said about Shelf in the mid lane. Like, he actually did a really good job at making sure that his lane was going to get pushed in, and now he could sort of free farm under the tower, and he sort of caught up, which is quite nice for him. And he also always has this medium camp as well. This is obviously one of the big reasons why you want to pick an SF on the Radiant side, just because you have access to this extra camp.
Yeah, and Yawar, you know, the outstanding carry player for the eHug side. He's had some good performances, and playing this Storm too. He's going to be free farming for quite a long time. There's no way that the Spirit Breaker is going to be able to fight him, as well as the fact that the Bat is just completely missing right now. And
top lane MJW, he's taking a lot of harassment.
Let's see. He actually looked a turn there. He was trying to use those illusions that Omega Pooner had to his advantage with the spins.
Was some definitely good rotation from Omega Pono. Dealt a lot of damage on MJW. He does have 3 tangos still though.
But he's still gotta be careful of burst, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, Omega Pono is almost out of mana, so he can't actually keep this up for too long. And I think MJW is gonna outlast him in this regard.
Alright. He's got enough for just one more. Yeah, so you're correct here. So, he's going to get chased down by Battle Hunger here. Chopping. He's trying to get it last, and he does get it to get the Battle Hunger off, but the call connects. MJW overextending just a bit too far. The charge is going to reveal him for quite a bit. MJW might be looking to be the first blood here. Oh, he TPs. Oh, smart play. Luckily enough, he had enough mana as well as a good place to hide to TP out.
That was some good awareness. I mean, he shouldn't have been in that situation anyway. He should have just realized that there was no way he's going to kill Omega Pona after he smartly just killed a neutral creep to get rid of that Battle Hunger. But, well, I guess it forced out the rotation from the Spirit Breaker, who is now kind of has to walk back to the lane.
Yep. So, let's see where our going to look to go for this right now. We got the treads picked up for the Storm. Didn't go for the old kind of arcane boots into Soulstone kind of build. He's going to be rushing out the Orchids, obviously, as that's proven to be just the standard and strongest way to go against about any matchup. So that'll be fun. And MJW not doing as bad as, you know, VoidBoys would like him to be. He's actually just messing around with Omega Pooner quite a bit.
Yeah, I think he's doing a really good job at just keeping Omega Pona quite busy and making sure that the SF doesn't get complete free farm. I mean, it's difficult to do so, but I think he's doing a fairly good job. He's also keeping the attention of the Spirit Breaker now, who got free XP bottom as well. So, yeah, he's doing a good job, and even forcing out his sentry. So, what more can you actually ask for?
Well, they're asking for plenty down bot. Yawar is just farming up this lane like crazy, and I feel like leaving Yawar alone isn't the best thing. Like, obviously, just the Storm farming up as fast as possible is never a good thing, but they gotta TP somebody down. A tier 1's gonna go down sub 6 minutes, it looks like. Or about sub 5. They're really laying into it. They have the siege, so yeah, they'll get this. Gotta just try to get the last here. And Fly can't deny. Nope. Alright, charges Yawar too. Does he have Vortex? No, but he's gonna slow him down just a bit. Okay, he's able to walk out.
This is like, he can play this because, you know, he knows that Storm Spirits these days don't really go for the Vortex, which in this situation is actually quite unfortunate because they probably would have been able to get that kill.
Yeah, but, you know, it's too late now. He's still leveling up the passive, hasn't picked a point
top
up.
lane.
Uh-oh. What do they got? TP out again, MJW? He doesn't care. There's no interruptions there.
It was sort of weird, I think. As soon as he hit him, he started realizing, wait, technically there could be backup, I guess. And he just immediately TP'd out. But he's just going to rotate into jungle.
Mercy, please. Just fire flying all over the place. This is how he's going to get all of his farm right now. And picking up a huge stack and looking for a really fast blink dagger too. He got I think that was a quad stack there over the hard camp and a butt ton of gold his way.
He's gonna have, yeah, he's gonna really have a really fast blink. But the question is, what can they do with this? Like, do they have the damage to follow it up from like a good initiation? Even if he gets like the jump and the lasso up on, let's say, the Storm, are they actually gonna kill him? Do they have enough burst damage for this? I suppose if they stack like the static link from beyond with plasma field and Spirit Breaker stun as well, but that's a lot of things to ask for. You kind of want at least like the level 6 on the Skywrath as well, but he's so far away from it.
Yeah, he's only level 3 right now, so struggling a bit. Back in base, Fly as well. Ken charge down to bot. Yawar is 6. Ken zip away in response, but again, I'm really I don't know. I just don't feel like the start from VoidBoys is anywhere near as good as how well eHug are playing it right now.
Yeah, like eHug, they had free reign on the bottom lane. Like both supports could either pull and stack or just, you know, just safely stack for their carries. And look at that, Chalf, he's farming stacks. Axe got a few stacks as well, and just judging by their farm, they're not doing too well, not doing too bad. And SF, what do you think is he gonna? Oh, is he actually gonna go for the Midas, or is this just treads?
Wait, who? Oh, the
Chalf, yeah, the SF.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I said SF again. I was like, wait, is play name SF right? And then there's like, oh, Johnny Walker is just him using his real name now. But head of Midas would be, I feel, a little too greedy. Getting treads early on is some really good stats, and you can also use the tread swapping to save some mana. But you got a gank.
They're looking, yeah.
Oh, he's gonna show the blink dagger too. Blink, lasso in onto Johnny, starts sucking away that damage there. He gets stuck on the Firefly. He's okay for now, but MJW actually got first blood on the fly, but still in this mid lane exchange, it's a 1-for-1. But globally, a 2-for-1 in the eHug favor, and that was just all over the place. I wish I could see the replay of what MJW did, but I assume it was a Vortex at a call with the Storm helping out.
He still doesn't actually have Vortex, so I'm not sure how the Spirit Breaker got caught out there.
Charged in and...
Probably, yeah. He must have played a bit greedy, because otherwise they don't get the kill. They don't have lockdown unless he sort of gets into range from the call, which shouldn't have happened, so... Kind of weird, but... Yeah, and again, in the mid lane, they sort of like showed what I was talking about earlier. Like, sure, they got the kill on the Zeph, but it cost them the kill on the Bad Red as well. And that's not really a trade you want to make, especially since SF even got the XP from that kill, so... It was sort of bad, just because they don't really have the sufficient amount of burst damage to, you know, make sure that he dies before any rotation can come in, and good reaction from Infinity.
Very good reaction indeed, and MJW now just gonna farm up his blink. He's only 200 away, he's good to go. Unfortunately, you know, Trough was taking the stack. He's like, man, I could have really used that, but is there a stack down here in the hard camp? No. And alright, Trough is gonna take this too. Or actually, MJW's gonna stack it. Nice guy, Trough. Giving it up.
Taking one for the team.
Yeah, just a minor hit to his GPM, unfortunately. But let's look at the net worth right now. Of course, UR is on top. This is the man of the game right now to keep an eye out for. Patsoul is farming away. He's almost got his Mask of Madness, and we've seen what, you know, Juggernauts do once they get that item. Just flash farm as fast as any other hero.
Yep, and he desperately needs. Oh, he's actually gonna. Yeah, he's gonna smoke on the bottom lane. They're gonna try to go for a kill. This is much better. With the Omni Slash, they can for sure just burst down a hero, but unfortunately for VoidBoys, it's probably gonna be Ryza who's gonna be soaking up that.
Oh, charge out. They find Ryza, yeah, like you said, looking for this. Oh wait, hold on, lasso onto Yaswar. He's gonna eat the Nether Strike as well. Omni Slash connects and kills off the creeps from the jungle, so a little consolation prize, but a good fissure on the 2. They're walled off right now. He's trying to cut his way through the trees. And Trough, can he inhibit or do any more damage? Looks like no. Fly's able to walk away, and a nice easy kill onto the Ancient Apparition with no consequence.
Yeah, that smoke was really good. The Storm Spirit didn't actually see that there was backup from the Spirit Breaker, so he walked in there, and was there a good call from Spirit Breaker as well? Just, you know, to change targets, and that gave them an easy kill. Easily
just swap from the charge to another strike and take out the more prime target.
Speaking of rotations, looks like they want to pick off the Omega Pauna here, who has been safely farming on this lane, by the way. So he's almost to level 6, and this is usually, yeah, this is what you usually see when you have like a Juggernaut on the team. As soon as he has like a mask and face boots, he just transitions into the jungle or goes for a few kills, so leaving the lane in the space to one support who desperately needs it.
And Beyond as well in mid, he's been doing pretty good, but again, obviously, Trough is going to be farming a lot heavier here on the Shadow Fiend, seeing as how he's been giving quite a few stacks. And even Infinity soaking up some XP mid too. He was there for quite a bit. And almost level 5. It's not doing too poorly.
Gonna be interesting to see what item build Beyond is gonna go for. Because the reason Razor sort of like fell out of favor... Oh, okay, I just saw the recipe. So yeah, the reason he sort of fell out is just because Mac is really not that good on him anymore. Just because it costs so much mana. But it looks like he's gonna go for that mana build. He has a Ring of Aquila to sort of like sustain it, but
there's 2 Rings of Aquila on this team. One on the Jug and then one on the Razor.
That's also actually quite. Well, it's not too common to see a Ring of Aquila on the Jugger. I feel, if anything, sometimes you see like drums or something, but it's also not too bad. But because just look at your team. You sort of need the mana,
Oh,
right?
Firefly, they're looking for the skill on the Trout. They're going to get the lasso out. Ice Blast to help out just a bit. Fly, what happened? He was trying to look for a charge target. You are TPing in as well. Going to do a bunch of damage here, zipping around close range. Gets the Vortex out, and they're going to turn into a double kill for one. Now you are chasing on a No Mercy. Please, can they get this kill? No, but oh, so close. Omni Slash coming in from Pat Soul. Makes it big. They turn it around. Easy kill for Beyond, and a 3 for 2 overall, and a big swing of gold over 1,000 into the VoidBoys' hands, as well as some nice XP and a tier 1 in mid, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't think they can defend it. Even though MJW, he's itching. You can tell by the way he's just standing there. He's itching to just jump in.
You should do it. Why not?
Oh.
The
I don't
word's
think
dead.
they're gonna get a kill. Like, they don't have much damage.
They're paying him. They want it. Battle Hunger. He's revealed. He can't blink now. He's got to be careful. Looking for deny on this tower. It's at that threshold. Charge coming in. Fly. Looking for this on the MJW. They get the fissure on the 2. Trout is stuck in there, but they get the Ice Blast off. He can't get the Requiem off, and a far-range raise to get the kill on the Razor. And up you are. Soul Ring chasing down, wants this kill into a Mega Pooner, gonna pull him back in, make him face his death. Now Fly coming in, might he be dead too? Another strikes out to actually avoid the raise, but from the side, Johnny Walker can't get this kill, and that was really well played by both sides, but Fly juking and jiving wasn't enough to save the Skywrath Mage.
That was a lot of patience from MJW. I mean, as I said, like, at first he didn't really have an opportunity to jump. Like, he could have jumped, but he would have died immediately. He just waited for his teammates to be back online, and this is also the AA ping of, like, you know, another ult
nope.
actually missing.
He would have died anyway, just gonna be annoying, that's
true.
all.
But yeah, this is like the strength of the AA. He doesn't need to TP. Can, if anything, the fact that he doesn't TP is actually better because he gets a bigger ult off. So, was a good fight for them. But obviously, before they also lost quite heavily, so it's sort of like evens out again, I suppose.
Yeah, it's pretty much a solid exchange between everybody there. Pretty even. Although Pat Soul is slowly climbing back his way up to catching up to Trial Fear, and he's going for the Battle Fury build. So something that, you know, we haven't seen all too much about. It's been all about the Manta, trying to purge off the silences and such.
Oh, jungle. And, oh, Trelf.
Oh, boy.
You're so dead, bro.
Mystic Flare, auto attacks coming in. He pops. He's dead. And, jeez.
Yeah,
Mercy,
this is where,
please.
like, the draft really pays off. Just because the fact that they have a Jugger that can easily transition into the jungle made sure that the Omega Ponic, or that Skywrath could actually farm up to level 6. And with this, you can just easily find a kill. Like, as soon as both ults, like both the Lasso and the Skywrath ult are up, you can just easily burst on anybody.
This ward in the jungle, the one right in front of the hard camp, is really what killed Tralf, unfortunately, and he's got to be a little frustrated with that because he knew that it was stacked, the hard camp was stacked, and he wanted to get it so badly, but well played by VoidBoys, getting some good map control, and the vision game is looking good for them. They learned from yesterday against their games from Pain Gaming.
Trelf also, like, drew on the map. He's like, guys, this is like an area where we don't have vision of, like, this is completely dark. We don't have any control over our own jungle. And this is not what should happen when you still have, like, a tier 1 bottom on the Radiant side. If you have the tier 1 there, you should have control over your own jungle. But that one word makes sure that they don't. And, well, I like the movement from eHug now. They know they can't contest the bottom lane, so what they do is just, you know, trade tier 1 for tier 1 and make sure, like, that they scout out Roche with this AA ult.
Yeah, but they can go in now, seeing as to how the AA ult's down, and here it comes. I believe they know, though, from the eHug side, so this should be pretty clean and easy for them to get. A free Aegis over to VoidBoys is what it looks like.
Yeah, like, even if they know, they don't really in a position to fight this, unfortunately. Just because MJW and Storm on the top lane, they would both need to TP down, and it takes too long. So what they do is nice. They try to farm up, like, as much as possible, try to make the trade as even as possible. It's difficult because obviously you give away an Aegis and a bit of money, but I think what they're doing is okay. It's an okay trade.
Okay, 4-man Ice Blast. Unfortunately, nobody there to kill anybody off. Infinity still putting his pressure on up top. He's going straight for Blink. 1,800 gold in the bank. 400 more to go, and he's good. MJW as well on the side, ready and waiting. And he's going for the 4-staff build. I really like the 4-staff build on Axe, because you just call and then force them back, like, into your team, too. So it's pretty cheeky. I remember Pycat was one of the first people to do that, so. Or was it
Yeah,
Weeha?
could be.
I don't remember.
Could be. It's a good build for sure. Make sure that you have a bit of mana as well, just because like Axe is usually one of those heroes that, you kind of need mana to play around with, but at the same time you don't really have good mana regen or a good mana pool. This sort of like, helps out a bit and obviously provides a bit of mobility. So especially against like the Bad Rider, who usually has like a lot of fire on the ground, he can't really blink a lot. So Force Staff is pretty good here.
Yeah, and the Bat Rider now picking up the Force Staff just as we're talking about it, so he'll be able to lasso, force himself back, and get more people into his team. And he's been a big proponent to VoidBoys' success right now. So we'll see if he can keep it going as they push in here onto the tier 1. Mask Madness going. Pat Soul not looking to be a target for the side of eHug. They don't want to pop that Aegis just yet, and they'll just be content with trading up the towers. Back and forth they go. The game's still very even in terms of the graph. It is, yeah, still even, but VoidBoys do have about a 2500 XP lead.
I like this decision making coming out from eHug. They respect the Aegis, they respect the power coming out from the Jugger and the Bad Rider, of course. So they just, every time VoidBoys do go for these pushes, they just know, okay, guys, let's just trade. Just because VoidBoys, I think they're also sort of like okay with these trades because they're sort of getting the better trade here. Like they not only do they get tower, they get a lot of map control as well. So. But I think they should smoke pretty soon because they shouldn't give away too much space right now.
No, do not let Troll farm too much.
Yeah, exactly. They should probably try to smoke and try to find a kill in the Storm, who I think has his Orchid now. Yes, there it is.
Cool. So that's a big tool for them to use right now. No smokes available? No, there's actually another not in stock. So another minute until we can see a smoke play come out from VoidBoys. How about eHug? What do we got?
They're gripping up for smoke.
Oh, yeah,
they timed this perfectly with the Orchid, yeah. And very nice smoke behind enemy, or behind their own lines, I should say. So no ward spotted it out. But I think, honestly, if you're VoidBoys, you should realize this. Because you have good vision over the enemy jungle, you don't see anybody. You have 2 illusions on the mid lane, you don't see anybody. So they have to realize it's coming. But he doesn't realize it.
Smoke pops, and there's the Orchid shown. They're going to try to pick up this kill, and they should, no problem. There it is, and Ryza getting the last hit, so working his way towards his own... he's not going Axe first. He's picking up the... What is it again? The urn. There we go.
Yeah. It's an interesting build for sure. Like, usually you just see the straight Axe rush, but I guess he sort of realizes that the Axe is going to be pretty late, and this urn is sort of good just to be able to sustain more in fights, and I don't think it's a bad decision, but I think if he does have the Axe at some point, it's going to be so huge, and it's
like 35-ish minutes. He's got a long way to go for that one. The warding coming in from VoidBoys is pretty good. This ward has still not died in front of the hard camp. They have the ward as well on the high ground towards the medium, and VoidBoys can't really risk just blindly going at their jungle anymore. And they always need to keep somebody behind Tralf, and that's going to be Infinity with his Blink Dagger, so some good counter initiation ready to go. They might be baiting Tralf just a little bit. He's got his Yules, though, and an Ultimate Orb. Wow. He got the Hand of Midas, like you said, too. Okay, his own Blink Dagger. Okay.
Yeah, he bought an Ultimate Orb. Maybe it was a mistake. I don't know, because he immediately sold it. So I'm not sure, but I like this Blink Dagger more, just because with like the initiation from the Spirit Breaker, with the Bad Rider, being able to position yourself better in team fights or before team fights is so crucial that it makes a lot of sense to just pick up a Blink here. Even though you don't really get too much or any damage out of it, you can maybe even position yourself better for some like Requiem or something.
Yeah, Requiem is going to be the big ult to watch out for, so let's see how they position right now. Smokes on the Courier.
Oh, nice. I like this from Omega Pauna. He picks up an early gem, just because usually you just know as soon as a team smoke ganks your jungle, they just drop a few wards after they leave.
Ooh,
and he just picks
they're running into each other. Oh. MJW gets the call on the Fly. That's going to be actually a huge Ice Blast. No, only hits Fly. Zipping around, though, in the back. Yawar doing so much damage right now. Beyond's trying to soak away all the damage he can. A cold number 1 coming in. Mercy, please, gets the lasso off. Yawar is TPing on the high ground. He gets interrupted by the Flame Break. Mercy, please. Just showing him none of that. MJW gonna get his blink off, TP on out, and he should be good to go. Omni/Dot in range. That nerf hurting Juggernaut quite a bit. And in the meantime, Trough is split pushing, and that's only a 2-for-2 exchange. But it looks like in terms of XP and gold, it's rather even.
I think that was a premature AA blast. Like as you said, if that one had hit on the Echo Slam, that would have been a wipe for sure. But that's the fact that the Bad Red was able to go in and out of that fight, cost them a lot. And Yawar, it was a cute play trying to TP on that hill, but was very unlikely to succeed as well. So pretty good movement here from VoidBoys. Obviously, kind of lucky that they immediately got those pickoffs, and
yeah, pretty lucky indeed.
Grab a bit of map control back.
I'm still very surprised. Like, that fight looked kind of chaotic. Didn't look like anybody had any solid control. But both teams managed to make it work. And in terms of net worth right now, just a few gold separates Tralf and Pat Sol.
It's also like the fact that the AA blast didn't hit like the Razor and the Bad Red was also pretty huge, just because they have a mech, right? Usually when you have an AA, you counter the mech, and that's so huge. Like, you completely nullify an item that costs you like 2k gold. But in that fight, he was still able to pop the mech, and that's sort of like how they negated the Echo Slam damage as well. So this AA blast has to connect, unfortunately. Like, I mean, it's just a support, but it's a support that has hit its ultimate to make sure that you
it's
win
the biggest
fight.
Impact.
Yes.
AA always being one of those high impact supports, just the fact that you deny them any kind of regeneration. So we'll see. We'll see if he can get those in later on. He also needs to get level 11. That's a pretty good point for him. Try to soak up that XP and eventually get an Ags. But at the rate this is going, he's not going to have it till like about 50 minutes, it seems. They got the gem to spot out one ward. It's only a sentry, so they're not too worried about it. And they're just clearing the jungle. Pink's coming out. Ward spotted, and VoidBoys, man, just really solid map control right now. This is something that I love seeing teams demonstrate. Solid control and good movement.
Yes, but at the same time, I love the response from eHug as well. Like, they realize the sort of like the sort of state the map currently is in, and they're like, okay guys, well, our jungle is completely invaded. We don't have any map control over our own jungle, or
go to theirs.
Exactly, just go to the enemy jungle and make sure that the lane is completely pushed out and that you farm as much as you can. And you can already see the movement. Like, VoidBoys know it's happening. They try to prevent it, and they move with like 4 heroes back. And as soon as this happens, eHug moves back to their own jungle. So eHug they make the best out of this poor situation right now.
It's like chicken. They're just playing a giant game of chicken right now. Who's going to bite first? And who's going to try to initiate a fight that they're going to lose? And Sentry's coming out too. They're trying to stop these wards. The Sentry is so close. But it's unfortunate for Ryuza. And we got an Ice Blast going top. Yawar's going to jump on in here. Onto Pat Sol. Is the Ice Blast going to connect? It's got a couple more seconds till it's up. It'll hit onto Pat Sol. No, he goes in front instead. Pops the healing ward. Gets himself an Urn Charge. And Yawar's ballsy play doesn't pay off.
I'm not even going to call it ballsy. I'm just going to call it, like, I don't think it was necessary. Yeah, it was sort of desperate as well, just because, like, they tried to go for this sort of kill, but even if there hadn't been any backup, like, there was only a little chance he could have kept the Jugger long enough, for the AA blast to connect. So
charge. They see Infinity. The fissure doesn't connect. It gets silenced up. Another strike should come on out. Yules to save his teammate. He's trying to do what he can. Infinity. They're going to turn around. Requiem. Ice Blast connecting. Fly is at least dead in this exchange. They do kill off Tralf, though, and Infinity to the dubs he goes. Boop. There it is. Oh, wait, no, the tower killed him. Just kidding. So, splitting the gold there, and that's a 2-for-1, and staying a little too long. This Sentry Ward on the high ground spotted out the ward that was just placed by Infinity. And that gave away their position fully.
And once again, like, I think Johnny or Tralf should have realized that the Urshaka was there. They tried to go for this cute sort of like turnaround, but it was way too risky. Now they gave away 2 kills. Oh, very crucial kill on the core, and it also gives away Roche. So this is actually quite huge. And with this Aegis, I wouldn't be surprised if VoidBoys just like, you know what? We're just gonna go down the bottom lane.
Pat Sol doesn't want to risk this. And Yawar still doing his thing on the side lanes, just kind of split pushing away, and I guess they're going to have to give up this Aegis without Tralf around to really be that high damage right clicker. It's just free. Again, this is going to be the second Aegis going over to VoidBoys. And maybe even a pickoff. Oh, they find MJW, and they just drop Mystic Flare where he force-staffed himself too. That's unfortunate.
If he had a Blade Mail instead of a Force Staff, that would have been a return kill on the Skyref.
He wouldn't have been on the high ground then. He would have been able to run.
Yeah, that's true as well. That's true as well. Oh boy, this is not good. Looking good for eHug. They're getting picked off way too often. Like I try to compliment them for their their ability to evade these sort of clashes, but now they sort of like go in themselves and just offer their, here, take my body.
I'm gonna try and dive into 3 of you and kill 1, and then they
Yes.
don't get anything.
That's pretty much what they've been doing this way. I mean, look at Yawar. Like, again, Infinity and Yawar are really aggressive here. I mean, sure, they know that Bad Rider's here, but they have to assume somebody else is here as well, right?
Dropping out the remnants too, trying to just scout away with that. Force that forward, flame break. No, blinking. Mercy, please, trying to find something, but doesn't get it, and back to farming we go. With both the cores from the VoidBoys side at level 17, they are looking very tough to deal with right now. And Pat Soul sneaking in towards this bot lane with Tralf charged up. They have full vision, but they can't go too far. Definitely not going to commit to this dive.
Oh, they see the Korea. They know that he's farming in the jungle. Well, I mean, obviously they don't
Yeah.
because they have the vision over him, but like.
They can't get this kill. No way.
I think they can. He doesn't have BKB.
Really? Oh god. Even with the Scotty, the Yules is there to delay just a bit. Fly's gonna be the one to die, and the nicely timed flame break from Mercy, please, to pick up the kill. Yawar looks to be next here, chopped down swiftly by a crit from Pat Soul. He's looking to use his Omni Slash. Can he catch up? Doesn't look like he can. He's still got the Aegis too, and just clearing out the jungle once again. And it doesn't even look like eHug have control of their own jungle. They can't do anything. They get charged, they get warded, and then they just die.
This comes down to, once again, like the early gem on VoidBoys' side and just dropping a very aggressive wards early on as well. Like, eHug, they have 1 ward on their Ancient, and I guess 1 ward, like, very safe, but it doesn't really give them too much vision over the movement from VoidBoys, right?
No.
So, yeah, VoidBoys, I'm actually surprised that they're not committing to this bottom lane as much as they could. They just have, like, Pat Soul and Beyond here.
So, tier 2, Zalmbach gonna be going down here in no time. Patzel's got that 3 points in ward, healing up for a ton. And it's gonna just keep this pressure mounted, man. They gotta at least stop the 3rd Roshan, right? That's gotta be the one where eHug try to contest it and not be in a bad position. Or do they just fall to the map control? Like, MGW is farming the opposing side jungle, and he's looking to build a BKB, but again, just some blunders by him, getting caught off and Mystic flared off. He's 2-1 right now, but just doesn't feel like the eHug side is clicking too well. Is that the right word? I don't know. They're just not playing in sync.
Yeah, for sure. Like you can usually see like everyone is sort of like all over the map. Like you have one hero on the bottom lane, one on the top, which is sort of good just because they make sure that everybody gets farmed. But at the same time, they can't really react properly, because if somebody gets engaged or initiated upon, usually there's not really enough time to just TP in and blink in or stuff. So this is where VoidBoys is just sort of like outplaying them because they hit their timings perfectly. As soon as they had crucial items up, they made sure that they moved together around the map, not just one by one. So I love this from VoidBoys, and I wouldn't be surprised if they can just take this tower completely uncontested and gain complete map control off of this.
That was a good Ice Blast onto 3. The only thing is, though, it fades too quickly. It's still a level 1 Ice Blast, and tier 2 looks to be gone now. Glyph is still available, though, saving that for if they try to threaten high ground, which they are. They still have this Aegis for quite a bit on Pat Soul, and he's even got the healing ward, too, to just go straight up with that lifesteal. And how do eHug defend? Do they defend? Tralf is still off, pushing on the sideline. He's TPing back in right now. Pat Soul taking some damage, and just going to spin through most of that. And this should be a tier 3 just dead for sure. I don't know how they defend here. BKB, Mercy Please cannot get the lasso off. Call from MJW. They're trying to kill off Mercy Please, which they do. 2-man hit from the Ice Blast. Omni Slash, though, goes through for Pat Soul. There is the Echo Slam on top of it. They pop off the Aegis, but still, that's not enough to stop VoidBoys. Zipping around, you are going to delay Pat Soul for a little bit. Got to be careful not to get chopped and just kite around. Pat Soul running around in their base. They get the slow in a Mega Pooner. He doesn't have Mystic Flare. A nice fissure on the 2, but looks like racks are going to be falling here. They got to use this glyph. Tralf does not have buyback, and looks like a melee set will be going down.
It was actually an okay fight. Like, it could have been much worse for eHug, to be honest.
Yep.
Just considering how far ahead VoidBoys was. But they played real well. Like, Bad Rider, I think, was a bit too slow in the initiation with the SF, giving him enough time to yield himself, so he didn't even get his lasso off at all. Like, the Bad Rider just immediately died. And the Jugger, I guess, sure, he got like 2 kills on his ult, but the hero's positioned themselves well, so the ultimate wouldn't bounce too far away as well. So could have been much worse for eHug, but VoidBoys is still pretty much content with this. I mean, they got a lane of racks, and I mean, what's going to stop them? It just, you know, go again.
We talked about how the composition, we didn't know what the hell VoidBoys were looking to do here, but they're executing it pretty well. It's mainly just off the Bat Rider, which is why we see that hero banned a ton. Like, Mercy Please has honestly been getting some seriously good lassos, despite that last one where he got outplayed by the Yules, but either way, he's been initiating a lot of these fights. And
mid lane, Pat, he has an illusion. This could be huge.
He should know that's an illusion. Do they know? Okay, Skywrath Mage is not going to break it, so they know that one of them is an illusion at least. Pat Souls, though, it's going to time out soon.
I think they're pinging it.
Ah. Alright. They know now.
This is actually pretty bad for eHug, and super good awareness from VoidBoys. They just knew that this was going to be a smoke gank, and you know, just the way they positioned themselves was pretty smart. And desperate times for eHug. Oh god, Johnny.
Ralph charged. MJW's there. He can cut him off with the taunt. He hits him invis though, getting him stunned up for a little bit. They stop the Nether Strike with that Yules. MJW's still in the trees. The fissure, no, it doesn't connect onto them. If that had been a 3-man fissure, that could have been a great call. Ice Blast connects on the 2. They're chasing down into MJW. UR's in the back, trying to assassinate at least a Mega Pooner. Getting what he can with his Oblivion, but it's not enough. A Mega Pooner stays alive. He's going to turn around Mystic Flare on top of him. UR's dead. MJW guys on the side. They're just diving the base. And this might be it. I don't know how eHug will do it. They're turning around to the Pat Soul. He pops the Manta, and he has Omni available. He's just going to use it, clear out the creep wave, killing off the Earthshaker, and he finds Ryuza as well, critting him down. Johnny W gets bashed, puts himself into the Yules. He's still losing a ton of damage, blinks away, and VoidBoys, they come out unscathed. No one dies. A Mega Pooner lived through UR.
This Patzel had a few very lucky bounces. Like, he hit the creep wave and then just immediately on the AA as well. But in general, like, a lot of things going wrong here for eHug. You are playing way... Oh, nice.
Oh.
That was a nice jump.
That was a good TP, I guess. He killed off the Spray Breaker as well. And I missed that, unfortunately. But either way, they find one in the retreat, but it's not a big kill. It's not as big as they would like.
You are playing a bit greedy and cocky in that last fight, though. Like, he shouldn't have died. He died pretty... It was a good effort, I suppose, going for a Megapona, who's arguably like the weakest link on the VoidBoys team. But you know, when the enemy's so far ahead, you can't really do that, especially since there were so many heroes around. AA also very trigger happy with that ultimate, I want to say, like immediately popping it as soon as he sees the enemy, and only hitting 2 heroes once again.
He did hit 2 big ones in the Spear Breaker and the Jug, but again, yeah, just looking a little trigger happy, not really looking for the huge multi-man. Ice Blast, and Roshan did get a bit of a longer timer here. We got about an extra minute left on it, and then that's Aegis and Cheese, and we'll see VoidBoys really destroy the base with that. Honestly, they already have 1 set of racks down mid and should just look to make quick work of top or bot.
Yeah, with the Ags on Razor, just taking racks is really not an issue at all. And let me see, how much money does he have? Yeah, okay, he's not really close at all to Refresher, but let's say this game does go to a time where he has Refresher, then there's not really a good way for eHug to defend base.
So, blinking forward, we got ourselves an initiation on the fly, trying to pick up an easy kill on a Spirit Breaker silence up, and Shop gets the kill. Mercy Please uses his BKB, trying to TP, trying to stop the TP. Nope, can't do it. He's gonna go into MJW, blinks in. They're gonna sap oil the damage, and MJW is the sole sacrifice here. Can he find a kill on a Mega Pooner? Oh, he does! Alright, well played by MJW, gets a double kill, gets a double chop, and they make the best of that situation, but only killing off the 2 supports isn't that big of a deal for VoidBoys.
It really isn't, but it's still actually a good trade, and they're sort of lucky that Roche is not up just yet, because otherwise those would have been a free Roche for VoidBoys, but it's still okay. Like, it's probably the best trade eHug has gotten in the last, I want to say, 10 minutes.
And they know Roche is up here. Pings are coming out. They want to try to do this. An illusion's going to be sent mid. Ice Blast, though, coming through. So it looks like VoidBoys can't do it. Right now, at least. But Abyssal, holy crap. Pat Soul. He's farmed 25,000 net worth. Abyssal, Manta, and Battlefield and Scotty. This is one of the richest freaking jugs I've seen.
Oh yeah, he's gonna roll over this eHug lineup in the next fight. If he gets a few lucky bounces, he can pretty much...
What does he drop here? Mask of Madness?
I'm not even sure if they're gonna give him the Aegis.
Oh yeah, just give it to Beyond and cheese to Mercy, please. Cheese? Pings? There it is.
Yeah, probably.
What does he drop though?
Probably the gem and give it to Omega Pauna.
Oh, he just wants to give the cheese to somebody else. Maybe just leave it in the pit. Who the hell cares?
Yeah, sure.
Why not? Just look to end the game now. They don't have the cheese. I mean, if they lose this next fight because they don't have cheese, I'm gonna laugh really hard.
That would be quite amusing. Like, maybe they're just gonna sell it. You do get 500 gold for it, so...
Courier comes in, and Spearbreaker has some luck to get it. Yeah, he drops his, smoke? Yeah, gets the cheese. Cool. So he can just charge in recklessly and do what he wants.
I mean, he's done that anyway, right?
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
So, VoidBoys looking to put the nail in the coffin as they look to push up the base. Now, we do have some good split pushing coming in from Yuar. The only thing is, he's got a 7-stack Bloodstone, and he really just has to worry about being silenced in these fights. He's got to worry about the fact that they BKB through him. It's so tough for Yuar right now. And also, Mercy Please, he's going to find this blink. He's going to get the initiation. Yule's defensively coming out from Trouf. He goes forward, though. Whoa, that was a risky blink.
Yeah, if that had been backed up at all, that would have cost him so much.
BKB in, blink, lasso on MJW, choosing the tankier target though, so we'll see. Beyond soaking away a lot of the damage here. Echo Slam still not out from Infinity. He got silenced up as soon as he blinked on in. MJW down to the Omni Slash, and oh boy, that looks like this is going to be game 1 for VoidBoys. Looking to make quick work of the series. I mean, it's only game 1, but obviously eHug can come back game 2 and make it a game 3, but GG's called here. They can't deal with Pat Soul, and yeah, we're going to be going to game 2.
They, like, eHug really needs all stars to line up. They need the perfect Echo Slam into the perfect A ult, and then, like, a good call and a few good crucial chops to actually make this fight work. But obviously, as soon as one of these sort of, like, things doesn't happen, they can't really take the fight at all. And, well, VoidBoys, honestly, they just outplayed them throughout the whole game.
Yeah, really just phenomenal play by Mercy Please there, initiating a lot of these great fights. And Pat Soldiers farm up a storm. And Beyond had a good mid lane, so we'll see if eHug can bring it back next game. Maybe we'll have Infinity swap back into mid, who knows. I'm EGAD, joining me here is Skim, and we'll be back for game number 2 here for Starlight Season 12 on Beyond the Summit. So we'll be right back. Enjoy the music.